Good evening. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. It feels like it's been forever since Boomer and I have done a show, but we're back tonight for the 1968 classic Bullitt starring Steve McQueen. How are you, Boomer?
I am doing well. Tonight is Bullitt. We were trying to do Bullitt for a while because I'd done the rewatch. I watched it myself, and then tornadoes happen and other stuff. And,
yes. Thunderstorm, rain, yes.
Look, I think you should stream during a tornado sometime, huh? It might make for an interesting stream, huh?
It really wouldn't bother me. The problem is that it really bothers the dogs, and when it's storming bad, I just go to bed and I lie down and all the dogs just kind of hop up in bed with me and they're like panting. But eventually they'll calm down because they see that I'm okay. So they figure it must be okay. But I can't get anything done. If I'm home and it's storming, I have to just devote full attention to them. So
I'll say that my late last pet, she was a dog, and she during one of the hurricane storms that wasn't a real hurricane storm, she was in my bed once, and she was going, ah, ah, ah. She was not happy about that. She would get upset during storms. Yes.
Yeah. Just take that and multiply it by 8. So
okay, all right. Oh, who do we got in the chat tonight? Anybody here? We got Big Al.
So far. How are you, my friend? Doing all right?
Big Al was on the Sunday rewatch on my channel. I don't typically do rewatch on Geeky Geezers, but I say if I'm going to have if I'm not going to be covering depressing news on a Sunday, on Easter Sunday, we're going to have some fun. So we watched The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town, the classic Rankin Bass special. And if you want to hear me sing, just listen to the beginning of that stream. I sang the first round.
It was okay. It was okay.
What was okay? My singing?
Yeah, it was okay.
Thanks. Thank you. Because Troy was talking me up, and now you're saying it's okay. We're going to do it. You realize, I know this is Soundtracks with Birdman, and it's typically about scores. But someday we will have to do a movie with a great soundtrack. And I have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, I think should be nominated. What do you think?
Okay, well, I'm trying to get Miss 80s Movies and Music on for 80s month, and we'll figure something out for 80s month.
Okay, we need some 80s movies. We got to do a John Hughes.
Most definitely, I'm sure.
There's Weird Science. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club.
Yep.
I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff.
Say anything. I thought that was a good movie.
Hello, I like saying anything. How are you? Just saying. The Sure Thing. That's another good one if you're into John Cusack.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on Easter, Boomer. Oh, of course. Anytime, Al. Thank you for joining me. But tonight we're doing Bullitt. So your familiarity with Bullitt?
Really nothing until I started prepping for the show.
Yeah, so Bullitt was made in 1968 and is known as a neo-noir action thriller.
Mm-hmm. Had a budget of $4 million, did like 42 point, I think $5 or $6 million. It's released October 17th, 2 days after my birthday.
Okay.
For those playing along at home that want to know when my birthday is, it's October 15th, but not 1968. After 1968.
What did you think of the score?
It's not much there.
I know. Is this another one of these minimalist scores you're not as huge a fan of?
Well, I mean, honestly, back in the 60s and the early 70s, you don't have what you have today. They just didn't do that. So
right. But I'm telling you, it seems like there have been a few releases of this score, and I'm not exactly sure what the correct one to buy is.
Yeah, I feel that way about Lawrence of Arabia a lot of the times.
I need to watch Lawrence of Arabia. That was one of my dad's favorite movies. I always meant to watch it with him while he was still alive. But that's actually one of Spielberg's favorite movies. Did you know that?
It is.
Yeah, he actually apparently the director watched the movie with him and gave him like a live audio commentary on the movie. But
wow.
Yeah. Okay. But trying to think though. Lalo Schifrin, if I'm saying his name right, he was Argentinian born. We covered his score of Dirty Harry the other week.
And speaking of Dirty Harry, Steve McQueen based his character on the same San Francisco detective that Clint Eastwood based Dirty Harry on.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I think McQueen was up for the part of Dirty Harry, but turned it down, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure why. I could see one reason might be maybe it's too close to the character he played in this movie, so maybe we don't want him exactly having the same actor playing. I mean, they're not exactly the same because I actually think that Bullitt's a little less dirty than Harry was, don't you think?
He seems more introspective, I would say.
Yeah, but Bullitt expanded soundtrack 1968. So this is a limited edition of 10,000 copies from Film Score Monthly. Were you a subscriber to Film Score Monthly?
I would buy them when I found them at the bookstore, but
Gotcha.
I seldom subscribe to anything. If it's not on the newsstand, then I figure I don't need it. And I really, you should just go ahead and subscribe to things.
Doesn't matter. It looks like you can buy it from Amazon for $90. Let me take a look, though. I don't know. I keep thinking, though, there have been re-releases of this because I did see another CD of this.
There's a couple different versions out there. It looks like the original LP goes for like $100 or so. Here's a Japanese pressing for $45, but you got to pay $25 shipping from Japan.
Yeah, shipping is always bad from over there. But yeah, so I don't know. And like, there's a Bullitt vinyl edition. Let me see, 43 minutes long, and is this available anywhere? It was published in 2014. Printed in 2014, I should say.
And I would say, like, this style-wise, there's one outfit in this movie that had a profound effect upon James Bond films.
What?
You know what I'm talking
about? No, wait.
The black pants, black turtleneck, and the brown leather shoulder holster. That was in a Roger Moore James Bond film, and it was in Spectre.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
It's like that's like the same outfit. It's the exact same outfit. I'm like,
yeah, I love the Bond movies, but I think after the Connerys, the first 5 Connerys, or even maybe it's after On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I start to see bleed in from other movies into the Bond films. Now, granted, I don't know if Live and Let Die predates Smokey and the Bandit, but there's almost a Smokey and the Bandit style chase scene in that with the Louisiana sheriff.
I think, yeah, Smokey and the Bandit came first.
Okay, because
if I recall correctly, and they wanted to, like, is parody the right word? But parody are reflected in the movie to attract new people or make it more relevant, whatever you want to say. I didn't go for that at all. I was like,
I don't know.
Well, why are you doing this in James Bond? You know, just.
In fact, I wonder if Connery wore the turtleneck jacket thing in Diamonds Are Forever now. Now I'm wondering if he did the same thing. Because I don't know. Diamonds Are Forever. We should do a month of not so great Bond movies with great scores. Because I think the score to Diamonds Are Forever is fantastic. It's just the movie itself is kind of dumb.
Die Another Day is my least favorite Bond film, and
see, I don't hate that one as much as most people. I get most people hate that one, but I don't.
Okay, well, I found the soundtrack. La La Land's got a complete score edition of it. I'm not paying $30 for it. I found a copy of the original release at the thrift store for $1, and I'm like, okay, I'll get it. And I put it in the CD player. I'm just like, oh God, someone's either got to shoot me in the head or I got to just put this up. And I'm like, I know David Arnold did it, but I don't think he's responsible for what we heard. I think that was all done in post. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Die Another Day. We had the Bond women. They're not Bond girls anymore. But just correcting that. Okay. The Bond girls in the movie were Halle Berry and Rosamund Pike.
She's hot. I like her.
I like them both. I wouldn't,
Well, that's true. That's true.
But no, I'm trying to think if there were any other women in that besides. And then there was the evil North Korean woman that was torturing him, but I guess she doesn't count since I don't think anything happened there. But
And then like Madonna's in the film.
oh yikes! Yes, I remember that now. Yes, listen, it's not a perfect movie, but I still had fun with it. I know people
You're
hate
very
it.
generous by saying it's not a perfect movie. Chris P
Listen,
says it was for your eyes only. I think so. I'm not an expert on the Roger Moore Bond films.
we maybe have to do Roger Moore Bond films sometime
Yeah.
because everyone likes the Connerys, but Moore had his day. Moore had.
Hello, Al. How are you? Hope everyone's doing well in New York City tonight. And Big Al agrees that Rosamund Pike is hot. Yes, she's hot.
And she's terrifying in the movie Gone Girl. If you want to,
yes,
that'll alter.
I walked out of that movie and I never again am I watching a David Fincher film because I saw Girl with a Dragon Tattoo and that's just like I had to get up there in parts and just leave. I'm like I can't sit here. And then I saw Gone Girl. I'm just like, wow, yeah, wow, no, no.
Gone Girl is terrifying.
I wish they had cut the movie off. You know where he goes to the shed. Spoiler warning: he goes to the shed and he opens it up and he sees all the stuff and he realizes what happened. And then they show her driving in the car. I wish they had cut the movie off right then and there. Just end the movie right there. I would have liked it a lot more.
Well, all I'm saying is that might have been an Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode at that point, but
probably
terrifying little movie though. But yeah. So tonight's movie is Bullitt. So when would you like to start?
We can start it right about now.
All right. I'm going to queue up both my digital copy and the Voodoo copy. And you say you can't hear the sound coming through. I actually want to play it with the sound this time. I usually, oddly enough, it's called Soundtrack Suburban. I usually mute it. I mute it on the TV, but I think in this case, I'm going to try with my digital copy. I'm going to try playing them both at the same time, and I'll try to listen to the soundtrack through the digital copy. We'll see what happens. All right. Whenever you want to do the 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Let me see what Al. Funny story. I parked my car in the street, and the next morning I found someone sideswiped my bumper and knocked off its hinges. The bottom is scraping the floor. How is this a funny story, Al? This doesn't sound funny at all. I'm sorry about your car. Oh, that would.
That's not fun.
Sorry about your car, but I don't see how your story is funny, at all. All right. And do you have like a Warner Brothers logo at the start of yours? Because mine just starts.
There's no Warner Brothers logo.
Okay.
All right.
Let me put my little ear thingies in. Okay. Y'all ready?
I'm ready when 3, 2, 1. Okay. You ready? Just do a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, play.
All right. So, kind of creepy, jazzy style music, huh?
Creepy jazz, yeah.
Well, I guess. Would you have liked to have lived in the 1960s?
No.
Really?
No.
That's a flat out no.
No. Would a hell no sound better?
What do you have against the 1960s? Like, you're not getting drafted to go fight in a certain war. Okay, you can just relax. Okay.
I'm fine with the time that I'm in. I don't think my life would have been better.
I don't know. I find the 60s and the 70s fascinating. They're like my primo decades. I don't know.
I do like the opening here. It's kind of spunky, maybe? Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this.
Thank you for backing me up for not wanting to live in the 60s.
What about the 70s?
Nope. I was alive in the 70s.
No. How old were you in the 70s? Do you remember it?
I remember seeing Star Wars. I was 3.
Oh, well, maybe you were. Okay. I love this credit sequence.
It is, but I do all the different directions with the words and everything. Yeah.
These strike me as mafia men. Would that be a correct assessment?
Yeah.
Okay. Or mob men, or crime syndicate men. I forgot. Back then, you couldn't probably call it the mafia in a movie, but you get into big trouble. Crime syndicates. In fact, in the Dirty Harry movies, he would refer to the certain groups as the crime syndicates, which we all know what they were supposed to be. You know.
Big Al says the 70s were awesome.
Yeah, see, he knows. He was there. See, everybody loves. You would live in the 80s again, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd buy up every G.I. Joe and Star Wars and He-Man and Transformer thing I could.
oh. The 80s are not the golden decade everybody remembers them to be. Do you remember Care Bears?
Yeah.
And seriously, Chad, if you hear any sound bleed on my end, let me know, because I'm doing an experiment with this stream.
Cabbage Patch Dolls, I remember those too.
They were hideous, and they kept
A lot
trying.
of people died to get Cabbage Patch Dolls, my friend.
Did you have a Cabbage Patch doll, or is this something you don't want to admit on air? Okay.
No.
I had gotten pressure as a kid to get a Cabbage Patch doll, and I'm like, no.
Oh, you just made my entire YouTube career.
What?
Oh, wow.
I never owned a Cabbage Patch doll. I just said I was getting pressure to get one.
Okay.
I never owned one.
Did you have a My Buddy and Me?
Didn't have a My Buddy either. I would argue that My Buddy is fine for a boy of a certain age. Mainly 4 or under. But I argue that My Buddy was meant to be, it's for a really, really little, never mind. It's meant to be like your imaginary best friend, except there's a physical version. That's not the same thing as some weird doll that was found in a cabbage field. Why are we talking about this stuff? Bullets on.
I have no idea.
I don't know. You brought it up. All right, so here we are in the glorious 1960s, where everything was cool. And where is this? What city is this taking place?
San Francisco.
So
this was originally going to take place in Boston, but at this point in time, the mayor of San Francisco was doing whatever he could to get films to come to San Francisco and film. So they went to San Francisco.
Cool. Oh, I got to put my captions on my TV on. Now, I actually own this movie. I was at a Walmart someday, and I got a Steve McQueen 4-pack, and it included this movie and 4 others for $10, plus digital copies.
The Great Escape and what else?
No, I'll tell you what's in here. Hold on.
Okay.
Is The Great Escape in here? It is not. Papillion,
okay.
The Hunter, and Nevada Smith. And Bullitt.
Okay.
I don't know if I own The Great Escape or not. I might in another DVD. I should check my shelf. I don't know if I picked that one up or not. Okay. So I would argue that San Francisco looks a little better in this than it did in Dirty Harry a few years later. What do you think?
I think so.
Not quite as sleazy, but maybe going in that direction.
Have you been to San Francisco?
Never.
Never? I've been one time.
How was it?
It was okay. I was there for I think 2 nights. I went out to interview at 2 design schools.
All right.
And that's when I realized I'm looking at over $100,000 in debt to go to design school. And I'm like, they're talking about like the same kind of job I have right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, you the possibilities there, you don't know, but I was just like the cost benefit thing. I was looking at the cost and I'm like 6 figures of debt.
Education is too much in this country. There's going to be a
I
reckoning
can't
over it
do that.
someday. If schools are having to charge that much, that means they're the ones having financial troubles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How about schools stop building so much new stuff? How about that?
That could be an idea.
How about they stop paying so many people 6 figures?
And it's simply the administrators, not even the teachers, that are making that kind of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, not that we want to get off on a tangent here. We have I've seen that actor who before, right?
His partner, dude?
Yeah. Think so. Have we done any Michael Caine movies on this channel?
I don't think so.
This is our first Steve McQueen. I'm not overly familiar with a lot of Steve McQueen's work. I, of course, saw The Blob. I've seen Towering Inferno. But
we did Towering Inferno on Al's channel?
Yep, on Al's channel. But I'd seen that one before. But yeah, we did a rewatch of that. That is a... I know they say it's a disaster movie. That movie's a horror movie. That is horrible things happening to lots of people. So there's a mumps vaccine, huh? How about that, huh?
Who would have known?
So what do you think of the music in this part?
I don't hear any music.
I know. So you don't. You made a point before. I don't know if this was before the stream or during, but you made a point that a lot of scores back then were not very long. Is that correct?
They weren't. They were not.
Back in the 60s, yeah.
Like nowadays, you would have music right here because they're driving down the street. You got to have music to drive.
Yep. You didn't ask me what I'm sipping on.
Probably like a peach Snapple tea with ginger root and ginseng.
No. It's a Southern peach lemonade, smart guy. There is peach in it, though, so you're sort of correct. I don't have ginseng root. I should maybe have some more ginseng. Okay.
Look at this shot with the legs right there, framing him. I'm like, that's interesting.
Don Gordon was in Omen 3. I knew I recognized him. He was the guy that was the assistant to Damien Thorne. Remember?
Yes.
Remember the guy who,
Yes. The guy who had the son. And then he's like, he has a change of heart. And I'm like, now you're having a change of heart? Like, after all the stuff you've done? Now you're having problems? I'm like...
There are a lot of problems with the Omen Part 3. I don't really have problems with Omen Part 2. I think Omen Part 2 is solid, but not Part 3.
The third one, there was a good story there that just wasn't it.
I know you were thinking Part 2 was kind of soap opera, and you're right. It could have been a television series like Dallas, except it'd be about the Thorns.
And we got like a very young-looking Robert Vaughn.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was on Man from Uncle, right? That was the big show.
And last season of the A-Team.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor. I of course I mentioned this to Troy that he had been on an episode of Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. If you remember that series at all.
Yep. And then they had Kung Fu: The Legend Continues.
Yeah, Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, and then he was on it, and there was an episode where I guess Kwai Chang Caine was trying to assemble a team of guys to take out these other bad guys. It was like the Magnificent Seven, you understand? And Robert Vaughn was one of the guys. I guess he was a former CIA guy, and he said the last time you and I had met, you were looking for the man that murdered your child, and all the Robert Vaughn character says yes, and I found him. That's all he said, and we know what happened, right? It's like, he's kind of shady in this movie, though.
He seems kind of shady in everything.
I am wondering if Robert Vaughn test read for the part of the main a Bullitt, And they didn't use him, but maybe they liked him enough that perhaps they used him for this other guy, right? What do you think? Because he's sort of leading man material. He's kind of leading man material too. A little old, yeah, you know, yeah.
And AL says Wisconsin is the biggest grower of ginseng. I did not know that, but that is interesting. And AL, I'm surprised you even saw the first Elman. I never saw any of them until Boomer suggested we do them.
What?
I never watched them until you suggested we do an Omen month.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's fine. It's fine. There's some movies I haven't seen. So I haven't seen A Few Good Men, actually.
What?
I've never
There's
seen.
There's like no score in that film either. There's like no score at all
really?
in that. Yeah, maybe 20 minutes, maybe. It's non-existent, pretty much.
So, anyways, so let's see here. Basic plot of this movie, as I could tell just from my one rewatch, was police detective gets involved. There's going to be a mob informant. The mob informant gets murdered along with his, I guess, his partner or an associate of his. And then he figures out that there is a police conspiracy because one of the cops is working with the mob, maybe more, correct?
Yeah, but the informant dude is kind of in on it too.
Oh, he doesn't die either. That's right. Yes. Well, like I said, I've seen it once. Right. No, that's the big thing at the end, isn't it? Never mind. Okay.
You know, Monday night I will be in Pittsburgh for John Williams.
Oh, excellent. You going to do a post video on the concert?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've got Zootopia joining me, and Andrew is joining me as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Andrew's coming up with his daughter, and Zootopia is just, I think he's driving over. So.
Oh, cool. No, Zootopia is good people. We've had my head on my stream. I'm trying to think. And you got another one coming up in June, don't you?
At the Kennedy Center, John Williams' 90th birthday party.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg's going to be there. So
cool.
Yeah, Chris P. I'll post some things. Don't worry about that. Although I did get an alert from StreamYard saying, "Congratulations, you're about to exceed your free monthly limit."
What?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
less than 10% of people stream as much as you do. And I'm just going to have to go ahead and pay because the Batman show is good for like 3 hours, and that's going to be at least twice a month.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
And in between that and the rewatches, it pushes me over 20. But that's fine. I mean, right.
Well, if you ever need to do fewer rewatches or something, let me know, okay? Because
I'm good. I mean, plow ahead. Keep the channel growing, you know? Okay. You got to keep making content.
You know what you should do? Paulie over at Latino Slant, he'll typically do a thing where he comes out of a movie theater after seeing a movie. You could do it coming out of a concert after just seeing a concert video.
Yeah.
Like on the street and everything. I don't know, like a live thing, but. Okay, so is this movie not selling you on the 60s?
Not really. Who carries a trench coat like that?
That is bizarre. I'll admit that.
I saw that. I'm like, who does that? Who does that?
Some nice looking ladies in the 60s.
Got nice looking ladies today.
I know, but I like the style back then.
Now here's a nice looking lady, and I love that shirt dress. Oh my Lord.
I would think that you would fit well in the 60s and 70s because during that era, what was your home entertainment center? Wasn't your DVD or your game console or your television, it was your home stereo, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're
Think about it. And you'd invite people over to listen to music. That was a big thing, right?
okay. Well, you make a valid point, but
Things change. I'm assuming that at some point it's going to be, let's all sit around a table and look at TikTok videos on our tiny devices.
now here's some music, but this is more like, this isn't really film score music. This is like source music because he's in like a bar.
Cool.
But like I said, 60s movies didn't have a lot of film score going on.
Yeah, but it could all fit on one record if you could find the record anywhere, right?
True.
All right, so here we go.
And the main reason for those short like soundtracks were always like 40 minutes or less for the most part. Do you know why they were always that length of time?
Why?
Because if it went over, they had to pay the musicians more money.
Yep. And I guess they were always on a budget back then.
Yeah.
How long was the Planet of the Apes score? Is that also like 40 minutes?
The original release? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this, though. You get to sit in a bar, nice band. I guess, are they ordering food or are they ordering drinks? I don't know. She is not ugly.
No, she's not. No, she is not.
I think I'm actually liking this movie more the second time around. Like I usually try to do my watching before the stream pretty close, but I've been busy. But I did watch this a few weeks back. There any Steve McQueen fans in the chat?
Do you know the car from this movie sold a couple of years back? You know how much it went for?
How much?
Just take a guess. Throw something out.
200,000.
No.
Okay, no. What?
Guess again.
$1 million?
Higher.
1.5 million.
Higher.
2.5 million.
Higher.
5 million?
No. Stop being silly.
4 million.
3.4.
Okay, who bought it?
I don't know.
It's Elon Musk, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Probably.
But 3.4, it had 2 or 3 previous owners that had been in the same family for, I forgot, like 20 years, I think. And for like over a decade, it was used as their daily driver in New Jersey.
What?
Yeah. For a decade, it was a daily driver in New Jersey.
Daily driving, right? In New Jersey.
Yeah.
I went to...
like my Sequoia is a daily driver, It's like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they decided to sell it. They paid $3,500 for it when they bought it.
My car insurance company called me in like a year or two ago, right? I guess because they were worried I was going to drop them, so they were giving me the sweet talk. And they were saying, well, this is why this is this high, but you get all this with your service. And they're saying, the reason it's so high is because, Florida has the second worst drivers in the state in the union.
Yep.
And then I asked, who's the worst? And she says, New Jersey.
Yep.
So the fact that car survived is kind of a miracle.
What? It sold again for 3.7? Wow. So someone bought it and flipped it. Wow.
To an unidentified buyer. An unidentified buyer, huh? Probably. I don't know who.
Well, Steve McQueen's not getting much love in the house tonight, people.
Nobody likes Steve McQueen. This is ridiculous. It's more fun to watch with other people. No, not a Steve McQueen fan. I think I like Steve McQueen. Come on. Granted, I haven't seen many of his movies. I need to watch Papillion next. I think that's supposed to be the big one, right? That's the one I always hear talked about. Wait a minute, Great Escape. I think I always get Great Escape confused with the Bridge over the River Kwai.
See, the guy goes over and he unchains the door.
You're right. Okay, you're right. Like I said, I'd forgotten the plot. Was he eating ribs? That's pretty nasty, though. I'll say this. PG rating? Yikes.
Honestly, I think a shotgun at that close range would have done more damage to him than what it did.
Maybe, yeah. But this is still fairly violent, at least for the time. Hollywood studios all over, they were trying to etch up the violence. Like, I know we had seen A Fistful of Dollars, I think, last year, right? And that is some fairly violent scenes. Nothing horribly explicit, but the scene with the men running out of the burning building, and then the Did you hear that alarm at all? The car. I mean, the
siren.
Cop car, the siren. Did you hear that at all? On my
I heard it on my end.
Okay, all right, never mind. Because I'm telling you, this might be a new way for me to do these rewatches. Okay, so here we have.
I feel like we could have some music right here, something just sad and foreboding. And then we can have something, we can have Bullitt's theme come in as he pulls up and hops out of his car that can carry us into the building, like, da-da-da-da-da-da, you know?
You'd have some kind of cue in a modern movie with this scene. Even if it wasn't long, you'd have something, right?
You would. Yep.
Not a fan of Steve McQueen. It's interesting. Did you ever watch that show Homeland?
No. Katie Sackhoff's in it, though, right?
I don't know. I know Claire Danes was on it. The main guy in it, though, the actor, redheaded British actor, he played when Tarantino did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He had him as a double for Steve McQueen in one scene, and he has a similar look when you blonde his hair. He has a similar look to Steve McQueen. I thought it was interesting. Steve McQueen movies: The Pan Pebbles, Love with Proper Strangers, Cincinnati Kid, Nevada Smith, Thomas Crown Affair, The Getaway, The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape. I must have seen The Magnificent Seven at some point, but it was when I was younger. I'm telling you, though, one of the reasons I like to watch old movies, they're sort of time capsules to the period they're from, right? So maybe you pick up on things like, is this how life was like?
Homeland had Claire Danes. Okay, she's a lot more attractive than Katie Sackhoff.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I think I might prefer Katie Sackhoff.
Okay. You can have Katie, right? I'll have Claire. Right? And we don't have to fight. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's okay. I mean, they're both pretty women. I'm not saying that. I don't know.
Has anyone seen this? Has anyone seen the Sand Pebbles?
I don't know what that is.
It was a movie with Steve McQueen, and it was Jerry Goldsmith's score. It was about, I think, the Korean War.
Interesting. One of the great things about movies is that I think more than a lot of other media, you can find them. I mean, I'm not saying everything's available, but it's a lot easier to find older movies than a lot of other things. In my experience. For instance, I'm going to be picking up the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee Volume Two, which has a bunch of European Christopher Lee movies that I'd never heard of before. So,
well, okay, Chris P, you can fight with Boomer over Katie. I've still got Claire all to myself. I'm okay with this. We're fine. No arguments from me. Sam Pebbles was set in China. Okay. Was it set during a war, Al?
I don't know. The TCM or the Turner or Warner Brothers, whatever. This is a Paramount 4-disc set. That can sometimes be a very cheap way to build up your DVD collection, doing these 4-disc sets that come with 4 different movies. Sometimes they're from decent special editions. In fact, I got the back.
Real doctors and real nurses in this scene, Boomer.
Interesting.
They were going for realism.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious. If they are striving for realism, this is what things were like in the 60s. That's what I'm wondering.
Another reason not to live in the 60s, because this ER room looks about like my kitchen.
Yeah, probably. Okay, medicine probably back then wasn't what it is today.
Okay.
But
so Big Al says, I would take Katie Sackhoff over Claire Danes, but wouldn't throw Claire out of the bed. So in this scenario, is Katie Sackhoff and Claire Danes both in bed with you? Or are you saying if you came home and Claire Danes was in your bed, you'd be like, oh, that's okay, I'll just sleep on the couch? I mean,
so like your older Sean Connery in Diamonds Are Forever, and
yeah,
Plenty O'Toole gets thrown out into the pool by the mobsters, but then Tiffany Case is in your bed. Is that basically what that's a reference to? We are doing a Diamonds Are Forever rewatch at some point. That is going to happen.
Okay. Like we need to do a Claire Danes rewatch. What movies is Claire Danes in? Terminator 3.
Terminator 3, which I actually feel is underrated. I know some people don't like it. I'm not saying it's perfect, but
it's okay.
In comparison to the other sequels that came after, it's much better than those. It's at least a competent action movie, which is more than I can say for what followed it. I'm sorry. I keep seeing this is a true sequel to Terminator. Every true sequel to Terminator 2 is not as good as Terminator 3. I've been finding that out.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Was that a rant?
No. And hey, Al, do you speak Chinese? I'm just curious.
Terminator Genesis or Genesis, whatever it was called, that was terrible. And don't even bring up that last one.
What last one?
The last Terminator.
Genesis?
No, there was one after that. They keep making them. Don't you understand? They keep
pretty sure
dragging.
Genesis was the last one.
No, it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it's the last one.
No, it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it was the last one.
Hold on. Are you being are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure it was the last one.
Hold on, let's find out now.
Nope.
You cannot accept the last one, Dark Fate, all you want, but Genesis was so stupid too.
Romeo and Juliet. That's right. She was in Romeo and Juliet. Al only knows Claire Danes from My So-Called Life. That's all you need to know her from in my book. I had the hugest crush on her in My So-Called Life. Oh, my Lord.
She was in love with Jared Leto and not with that other guy. Remember? That was a thing.
Oh, yeah. But that was when I was in college in Indiana, and there was a girl in one of my sociology classes who looked just like Claire Danes. Mm-hmm. And I sat right next to her every day.
I do miss the 90s. Mm. I wouldn't mind living in the 90s again.
Well, that's cool. You speak Cantonese. I speak American. That's about it. So
cool. Cantonese. I have some kung fu movies in Cantonese. Sometimes they have both the Mandarin and the Cantonese tracks on them.
Yeah, are you looking at this hospital, Boomer? Because that's not the hospital I want to go to.
You know what? You could probably afford to go there, though, huh? They might have to cut off a leg, but
Speaking about hospital mistakes, I have a client friend, and he had to go in for like sticking a coat hanger up an artery and like doing something, and I don't know, but they did everything. He's in line to get the surgery done, and they've done everything, which was very evasive. And right before they're about to start, they had to stop because they realized the surgeon was not qualified by the hospital to do the surgery.
what does that mean?
It means for her to be qualified to do the surgery at the hospital, she has to have so many hours under supervision from a doctor at that hospital who has hospital privileges at that hospital. Despite the fact this doctor had privileges at like 3 or 4 other hospitals in the South and was considered like the best surgeon in the South, but she's not qualified at that hospital.
So
And
what
I'm
happened?
like, wow, how pissed were you when this happened? He's like, I'm like, yeah, this is on them. You don't need to prepay for everything they've already done. He's like, oh, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, this was on them. This is their fault.
Okay, now here is a scene that fascinates me in this whole movie. Detective, have you eaten? And what does she give him? What does she give him to eat? Did you figure this out?
A tray of food?
What is on the tray of food? Let's see if you know.
I don't know. I was telling my horrible surgery story.
Well, yeah, I know that there's the surgery story, and that's important. Anyway, I hope your friend gets reimbursed or at least doesn't have to pay for the same
I
thing
don't get
twice.
reimbursed, but he actually had the surgery today because they rescheduled and he's doing fine. So grateful for that.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
All right. They don't want that doctor in there. And part of me thinking, is this a prejudicial thing? But no, it's something else, isn't it? Okay. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because this is, they're wanting their own man in there to maybe finish the job. Am I wrong?
Finish the job.
Yes. So I have figured out what Stephen McQueen is eating here. Have you? What kind of sandwich? Let's see if you know.
A sausage sandwich?
It is not a sausage sandwich. You will not get a sausage sandwich at a hospital. I believe that is a
piece of bread, a thing of sausage, put it between the bread.
No. You could get a sausage sandwich sneaked into a hospital where they're not going to give you one. That is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I am 99% certain.
Okay.
Look at the way he's eating it. He needs the milk to make it go down. That is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay.
Is this the first time a peanut butter and jelly sandwich was featured on film? I don't know. Is that a factoid? Will I find this out any minute now? Let's see. Could you go for a PB&J right now, Mr. Birdman?
I don't really like peanut butter and jelly, to be honest. I had a chicken salad croissant for dinner with 4 tomatoes on it and a couple of pickles.
That's a good sandwich. But peanut butter and jelly. It's a go-to comfort food. Peanut butter jelly sandwich. First time in a movie. I know that there is a record of this on the internet. Let's see here. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Let's see here. History. Peanut butter was originally paired with a diverse set of savory foods such as pimento, cheese, that's disgusting, celery, watercress, saltines, and toasted crackers. In a Good Housekeeping article published in May of 1896, a recipe urged homemakers to use a meat grinder to make peanut butter and spread the result on bread. Following month, the culinary magazine Table Talk published a peanut butter sandwich recipe. An early recipe for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich appeared in the Boston Cooking School magazine in 1901. What do you think? I got that from Wikipedia.
That's much older than what I thought.
Okay. That is peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Look how he's eating it. Okay. Yeah, I'd like him replaced if you don't mind. And I'm thinking, well, maybe this man's a bigot, right? And that's why he wants the doctor out of there because the doctor is black. But no, it's because he wants his own man in
Okay,
there.
okay, wait. He's a senator from California. He's probably a Democrat, so he probably, just saying.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think I think you're not wanting to think the unthinkable here, and I'm thinking that it's that they would
But
take out.
I mean, plot wise, I think he's trying to like do it so that another guy can come in and off the.
Yes, that's why. That's my point. But I almost wonder if they're trying to trick the audience into thinking something else. Yeah. He finishes PB&J. He took a long time to eat that sandwich, don't you think?
Yeah.
Did we lose half our viewers from me talking about PB&J so much? Anyway,
No, we're good.
I bet you're thinking there should be some score here, aren't you?
Yes. See, now we got some music.
Mm-hmm.
I like the low register piano, but I don't like the jazziness.
At some point, we are going to do another one, a favorite Schifrin score of mine, which is the Enter the Dragon soundtrack. But we'll get there.
Is that a Bruce Lee film?
It is a Bruce Lee film. Yes, it is. It is like some would argue it's the Bruce Lee film. It's also got it's got other actors in it too. Their names escaping at the moment. Hold on.
So if Spielberg remakes this film, you think he's just gonna do like a shot for shot remake?
Wait, what? Who's remaking?
Steven Spielberg.
He's remaking this movie.
Yeah, I thought you knew this. I thought we had this conversation.
You might have, but I wasn't that familiar with Bullitt at the time. He's remaking Bullitt.
Yeah.
Why not just set it in modern times? Why do it a shot for shot remake?
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you think he's just going to do a shot for shot remake?
I don't know. Who's he going to cast?
I have no idea. But like people complain that West Side Story. Good night, hey Al. I'm sorry about your car. That sucks. Move away from New York. Come to the South, like Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. We're all cool people down here.
Yes.
Florida's
crazy. Florida's crazy people. But anyway, okay,
people complain that West Side Story was pretty much the shot for shot remake of the original West Side Story.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I haven't seen it yet either. But okay, so Bruce Lee is in Enter the Dragon along with John Saxon and Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was a big time martial artist too back in the day. I don't know that John Saxon was a martial artist, but he seemed to do okay in the movie. Do you sort of see like the prototype for Dirty Harry in this movie in a way, that kind of cop movie? What do you think?
I mean, the detectives are entirely different people. Like this guy's
Oh no, yeah,
quiet and introspective. Dirty Harry's kind of like in your face and a wise ass.
yeah, and he
And
also
just like bang, bang. This guy's more thoughtful.
Dirty Harry also makes some screw ups in that first movie, like
Yeah.
not getting a shot off at Scorpio when it counted in the beginning, right? And it's like, I don't know. I may have to. I'll.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking you can rescore this with James Horner music.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you
talking?
could score this entire film with existing James Horner music.
Okay. You're pushing it with me. You want a jazzy score?
I don't think I've ever said that. Did I ever say that?
Oh.
I do like his sweater that he's wearing.
Do you think Spielberg would get John Williams to score Bullitt, the remake, or would he get somebody else? I would think he would get somebody else, right?
I'm going to have to let you down gently here. John Williams is scoring his final Steven Spielberg film as we speak, and that he's done. He's retired.
What?
Yeah. The Fablemans or whatever it's called that comes out this
one, the biography one, right? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's his final Spielberg film, and he's doing the new Indiana Jones film, and he says he's retiring because he says that at his stage of life to spend 6 months making a movie is a large portion of your life. And that's a very true statement. When you're 90, to commit 6 months of your time to something, it's a pretty big deal.
I suppose that's a good point. Do you think in this biopic of the Spielberg biopic, there's going to be a scene where, young Steven, to impress the cheerleader, has to go retrieve the football that was put by some pranksters over in a hard reach area, and then his companion with him grabs it for him, and he grabs it, but then his companion leaps to safety, and Spielberg can't get across, and he says, throw me the whip, I'll throw you the football, right? I think it's going to be like everything that we see in his future movies happened in his childhood. What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't think so? No?
Oh, it says to be a film centered on Bullitt character, but will not be a remake. Well, but centered on the character is going to have to be set in the 60s or early 70s.
Oh, so like a sequel. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board with that now. I didn't necessarily want a remake, but to do a in fact, let me find out if Bullitt was based on a series of books or anything. Let me see.
It was based on a book.
Okay, so maybe he wants to do a sort of sequel.
Today, if you make a movie for $4 million and it does $42 million, you're going to get a sequel within 2 years. And a spinoff on Netflix or HBO Max or wherever.
Well, a spinoff series about people that aren't Bullitt.
Yeah.
Right? We're getting a Knuckles television series for Paramount Plus instead of a Sonic series, because Sonic's the main star of the movie, so we can't give him his own series. We'll give Knuckles his own series. Knuckles is in Cheetah, in case you're wondering.
Okay. I don't know anything about Sonic. Mute Witness. That was the title of it. That's right. Big Al. Big Al is on his game tonight. Bring it. Yeah.
I would say I'm on my game tonight, right?
Yeah, you're always on your game.
So the guy is dead, huh?
Or is he? Officially, he's alive.
This is pretty smart. He's trying to block things from being sealed by not releasing the body, right? Or by keeping the body circling around. That was pretty smart in this part.
It's just quiet. Too quiet. Too quiet of a film.
Too quiet a film. All right, fair enough.
Hey, Mallory. See, now we got some music, like driving music. Do you like his car?
What kind of car is it?
68 Mustang.
Yeah, it's nice. Have you ever driven a Mustang?
I had a Mustang. Not a 68. I think it had like a
friend of
99 or 98.
Friend of mine from Texas had a Mustang, and he had me drive him back to his place one night when he might have had a little too much to drink. So I drove the car back with him, and then like there was this flashing light near the street, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And then this kind of plank came on the hood of the car, and I pulled back because I realized, oh, that's a train coming. Do you like that story, huh?
Well, I'm glad you didn't get hit.
Yeah, that would have been good. Did he pay for that paper?
He did.
I hope so. Gonna pay for that? Is that an orange? What's he picking up there? Yeah, go pick up your fresh vegetables that you will not eat, Mr. PB&J. So yeah, this is more accurate right here.
TV dinner. Yeah.
Do you think the TV dinners of the 1960s were better than the TV dinners today?
I don't think TV dinners have ever been good.
I think they were better. I think the freshest ingredients, right? He's eating better than Harry Callahan, who in one movie had an old hamburger in his fridge that he pulled out.
True. That's true.
You thought the hot dog in the first movie was bad. It's like, what are you doing? You don't care. You're living every day just to see horrible stuff and stop horrible.
Big Al says Stouffer's makes great microwave dinners. Actually, he says good microwave dinners.
I have to tell you, I miss the Stouffer's round pizza. Were you aware, in addition to the French bread, during the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, there was a Stouffer's round pizza you could put in your oven? Mm-hmm. That no longer exists.
No.
I ate many a frozen pizza.
She's very cute. I like that nurse.
You like that nurse?
And you got the Magnum Force people right there.
What Magnum? Yes, I know. We're going to get to Magnum Force someday. You just wait. Well, the Magnum Force are tired of the bad guys getting away with it. So it all started here. Hey, theoretically, could Bullitt and Harry Callahan run into each other?
They could.
Since they're both with the San Francisco Police Department. In fact, maybe the cop that Scorpio took out in Dirty Harry 1, that was lying in front of the church, maybe that was Bullitt. What do you think, huh? It was all Harry Callahan's fault. Do you ever watch The Simpsons?
It's been a long time.
There was a character in a movie series on there called, I think, McGardicle, and you could tell it was supposed to be Clint Eastwood's Harry Callahan.
Yeah.
There's a scene in one of the movies where he's going up to this little kid and he's saying, listen, if you don't testify, kid, that mob boss is going to walk or something. And like the kid's like, okay, McGardicle, I'll do it for you. And then later on, like the police chief is chewing out McGargle saying, "Hey, that witness you had, they slit his throat from here to here." And then McGargle's eating the sandwich. He says, "Hey, I'm trying to eat my lunch here." I'm sorry. It was such a cruel thing. It's like the kid, and it's like he cared about the lunch more. It's anyway, whatever. So that's the dude from The Odd Couple, right?
I never saw The Odd Couple.
What do you mean you never saw The Odd Couple?
I mean, my eyes have never gazed upon it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You know Robert Duvall's in this movie?
Yeah.
All right. So Robert Vaughn plays Walter Chalmers. Okay. You know what The Odd Couple was about?
Two guys become roommates.
Yes, two divorced men. His wives kick them out, so they become roommates.
You know, sexiest thing a woman can wear is a man shirt, nothing else.
Yeah. Like your Yoda T-shirt that says "Do or do not, there is no try" on it.
I have a Yoda t-shirt.
Okay, I'm just, just, uh,
You know, am I like the only person that doesn't put on a holster that's got a gun in it? I always take the gun out, put the holster on, and then put the gun in. I don't know. That's just me.
well, it's Hollywood. For all I know, they're getting this wrong. Okay, maybe that's how people do it. They put the holster on first, then the gun.
Anyone in the chat, how do you put on your gun and holster? I'd love to hear it. Oh, yes, Big Al. Oh, yes. Yes.
So that was Jack Krugman was on. And who does Jack Krugman play here? I don't know. Maybe he's not in this. Maybe I'm confusing with somebody else. I thought it was Jack Krugman. Now, apparently, Robert Duvall plays a cab driver in this movie. So you might want to keep an eye out for that, all right?
That's a nice picture. See, I like to have some music here.
Instead of just nothing.
Yeah.
Like some suspenseful music, maybe, or some, I don't know.
You know, this got the Academy Award for Best Film Editing that year.
Really? There's some good editing here. I bet the James Bond movies had more score to them, didn't they? Because they were made overseas, right?
First one had next to nothing.
I know, but I'm thinking about like the later ones, right? You got any turtlenecks, Heron?
Yeah.
All right.
Got a brown Christmas one with like reindeer on it. I've got a navy one. I've got a brown one, a gray one, a gray marbled one.
You could bring
Uh,
the turtleneck back with the jacket.
um,
No.
I mean, if I'm out in public, I always have a jacket on,
Well, there you
regardless. Yeah.
go.
Do you, Boomer, have any turtlenecks?
Not at the
I-
moment, no.
yeah, I was gonna go with no.
You were gonna go with no. You don't think I have a turtleneck, huh?
I
Okay, that's
don't.
fine. Fine, whatever. So he's already figured it out. Is that it? What was the traffic like in San Francisco when you were there?
I didn't do any driving.
Did it
It
look bad?
wasn't. No. I took the subway train from the airport to the hotel, and I walked around where I had to go downtown, and then I took a taxi cab back to the airport. It was okay. Not like Boston. Boston's crazy.
Yeah, I've been to Boston. It's been a while, but I was there for a writers' conference many, many years ago.
Did I tell you I got tickets for the back?
What? What are you talking
Boston
about?
Pops? Yeah, they're doing Empire June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm
Oh my
going for the
goodness.
2nd and the 3rd.
Is it like a what is it like a like they play the movie and they have an
Yeah,
orchestra doing the
the
score?
orchestra plays score. Yep.
I think Eric was talking about that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Have you ever been to one of those before?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boston Pops did Star Wars. I went to that. I've been to ET and Psycho with Boston Pops.
Oh.
Nashville's doing Back to the Future sometime in June. I think it might conflict with the Kennedy Center, though. I need to check the dates. Atlanta's doing the Return of the Jedi this summer.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Nashville's also doing one of the new Star Wars movies, but I'm not.
What do you mean? What do you mean new Star Wars movies?
Those abominations that
Oh,
came out.
the newer ones. Is it gonna be
Yeah.
Solo Star Wars story? Huh?
No, like the ones with Rey and Kylo and
Gotcha. I understand.
not Emperor Palpatine and
Ray. They never really cleared that up, but we won't. Anyway, Bullitt.
So is that Robert Duvall right there?
Yeah, look in the cab. See, it's him.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? A little connection with THX, right? You impressed, huh?
Did they do a good job, Chris P? Huntsville Symphony did ET a couple of years back, and I went to that. The strings did better than the brass. I'll say that. But I was pleased. I didn't leave wanting to burn the building to the ground. So it's always a good thing.
Yeah. This is like, hey, they're going to church. Stop bugging them.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
And if you're a U.S. senator, don't you have better things to do?
well, he's on the payroll of a certain organization.
Aren't they all? I mean,
I would hope not. Probably more than I'd like to think that are, though. Yeah, I'm sure. But Hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a very cool guy.
So would you say he's the villain of this movie?
Yeah.
It's not really like Scorpio, though, is he? Scorpio was a little more flamboyant, right?
Yeah.
Who are your favorite movie villains?
Hans Gruber,
Yeah,
Darth Vader,
yeah.
Belloc, Malaram.
Yeah, yeah. They're fine.
Um,
No Goldfinger in that list, huh? No.
no.
Okay.
I can't really think of a James Bond villain that I would put.
I don't know. They made a point like I think there was a list of like cringiest or
Thank
slimiest
you,
James
Christy.
Bond villains, and I thought Goldfinger is he's the one that disgusts me the most. I think out of all the Bond villains was Goldfinger. I, I really did not like Goldfinger.
I woke up the other morning and Netflix sent me an email saying that Cliffhanger now on Netflix. And I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that since like '90s. And John Lithgow is just like a despicable person in that movie.
In what movie?
Cliffhanger.
Oh, Cliffhanger!
Yeah,
Cliffhanger rewatch sometime, maybe.
yeah, we can do that.
No. The Cliffhanger was. I consider it one of the last great action movies before the genre kind of went to bed. But it was Stallone just tearing people apart the whole movie.
It's like it's got some parts that you could just like edit out a couple things here and there. I would like the movie a lot better. But when it chose to be violent on some things, I think it went a little too far when he like pushed the guy up onto the stalactite.
Yeah, no, you didn't like that part, huh?
That's a little. It felt kind of out of place.
No, no, but that's the '80s action movie. I get why that's there. My favorite part is, and one of the favorite lines in it was, "I have to admit, Walker, you're a real piece of work." And then Stallone says back, "And I have to admit, you're a real piece of shit."
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes. Stallone just murders like everybody in that movie, but they're all awful people too, right? It's I'm telling you, the Cobra could be a Christmas movie, man.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, you have some guy getting shot and he falls into a Christmas tree in a grocery store. That means it's a Christmas movie. All right, so is this the famous scene coming up right here?
Like the most famous car chase in the history of car chases.
It may be.
I mean, that's not me saying it. That's the internet. Internet never wrong.
My favorite car chase movie is still Ronin. Did you ever see Ronin with Robert De Niro and Jean?
I have not. But this came first. This came first, Boomer.
It did come first, but we should do a rewatch of Ronin. You'll probably like the score better because I think there's more of it in Ronin.
Yeah.
Who did the score to Ronin? Let me look that up. We got music too. You like this?
It just doesn't sound very car chasey.
Well,
I mean, if I just heard this track, I wouldn't picture a car chase.
well, the one that the score to Ronin was Elias Merle. Have you heard of him?
Don't know him.
Okay. a Czech composer. I think he purposely went with someone that was more known for that movie. But so in the movie score loving community, how is the score ranked?
Um,
Do you hear people talking about it?
no,
Okay,
no.
okay. If the Spielberg remake comes out, will you get the score to it?
It's kind of going to depend on who does it. If it's
Okay.
Thomas Newman, I'll just buy it because it's Thomas Newman. If it's Hans Zimmer, I'm going to listen to it first. Well, no, I mean, I was so psyched for Dune. I was like all about. I'm like, wow, they're doing 3 different soundtracks for Dune. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. And then it dropped on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, baby. Press the play button. I'm like, God, I've only been listening to this for 5 minutes. Holy crap! And I stopped. And I'm like, well, let me give it. Let's give it a chance. I got like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, no, no, I just can't. No. And now this is supposed to be like the most influential car chase ever.
It does predate the one from Magnum Force, because there's one in Magnum Force, a car chase, but this predates it.
And Steve McQueen did a lot of the driving in this, but not all of it.
Okay. Do you know what movies have a lot of car chase scenes in them? Fast and the Furious. Okay. Well, I'll let you think on that one for a bit, huh? Okay.
Now, the parts here where you can see Steve McQueen's face in the rearview mirror, that's him driving. And when you can't see his face in the rearview mirror, that's the stunt driver. Basic Instinct had a high-speed chase through San Francisco, too.
That's not part of that movie I remember.
Okay. And that car is going to lose 6 hubcaps, by the way.
Really?
I mean, that's a lot for a car that only has 4 to lose 6. That's,
Do you think like the Batmobile has like replacing hubcaps, like one comes off and like
so.
a mechanical thing comes out,
replacing hubcaps.
Just a new one just gets popped right back on. I'm sure that was in that new Batman movie, right? I'm sure, yeah.
This movie also got an Academy Award nomination. Didn't win, but it got the nomination for Best Sound.
How come Superman doesn't have a like a Superman mobile, huh?
I don't think he needs it.
Well, it could be covered in leads because in case of kryptonite, that sort of thing,
I think that would make it heavy.
Well, I don't,
The cars do sound nice here with vroom, vroom. But you know what else would sound nice?
What?
Some music. Some music would sound nice. Yeah, Crispy the car can automatically replace the hubcaps. Absolutely right.
I bet Magneto could like remove the hubcaps just by pointing at them.
Yeah. Crispy, are you enjoying the Batman show that I've been doing? Like, feedback is appreciated if you have any. If not, that's okay. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
He had a wipeout.
Yeah. Have you ever had a motorcycle, Boomer?
I have not. Have you?
I keep looking at one, but it hasn't happened. Because I wouldn't take it out if it's too hot. So that's 3 months out of the year, maybe 4. If it's too cold, that's like 3 months out of the year.
It's always hot in Florida. I see bikers all the time.
Or if it's raining, I'm not going to take it out.
I got to take it out. Okay.
I just wonder if I'm going to get enough use out of it. But I keep looking at that Ducati and I keep thinking about it. But I also know 2 people that had bad motorcycle accidents. One lost his leg, got addicted to pain pills, and hung himself a year later.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. That's unfortunate.
And the other guy was in a coma for several months, and he's okay now, but it was a rough go. And I would like to think that if I was in a coma for several months, people would miss the show on Wednesday nights.
He came out of the coma and was speaking fluent French.
Ooh, no. That would be horrible.
I don't know. What? Hey, come on now. There's some great French movies. Have you never seen a French language movie?
I went on a date with a French girl one time in college.
Okay.
I think her name was Jeanette, if I remember correctly.
Jeanette.
She was tall. She had beautiful brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful face. Oh, she was so gorgeous.
Did she so did she like French movies?
She didn't speak English very well, and
okay. Oh, are we gonna get some gunplay now?
Yeah. And this is a pretty awesome car chase. And then that happens. And in a Michael Bay film, this explosion would have been much, much bigger.
Yeah, in the Michael Bay film, you wouldn't have been able to tell which car was which that got exploded either, because
that too.
Michael Bay. Did you ever see The Rock with Sean Connery and
Unfortunately.
Nicolas Cage? Remember how he destroys actually that is a chase scene in San Francisco, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Where he totals like a few city blocks just to see his daughter, right? Just to see his estranged daughter, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay because he'll still save the day later.
See, now Dirty Harry would just be like smarting off right here.
Mm-hmm. See, at this point, like the Harry would be smacking this guy, right?
Yeah, do it.
So did Steven Spielberg like Bullitt? Is that why he's doing another movie about him?
I guess so.
I'm curious. Once Upon a Time in a Hollywood cast.
Yeah, Crispy, there's a lot of scores that I haven't listened to. Yeah, there's a lot out there. And Eric Wood's he's like an encyclopedia and a Google search engine like rolled into one. And Sir Ian knows a lot too. So but I'm
Damian
glad you joined it and thank you for tuning in. What, Boomer?
Damian Lewis, that's the actor who plays Steve McQueen in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's the actor they should cast as Bullitt. He has a very similar look to Steve McQueen, at least when you change his hair a little bit, you know. And he was on Homeland. He's an English actor. He's been on a lot of stuff. I think Damian Lewis.
That's a cute car.
Mother's Day brunch. There's some nice cars in this movie, right?
Yeah. What's her name? Is it Jacqueline Bisset? That's her name?
It might be. Let me find out. Jacqueline Bisset as Kathy.
Yeah.
She's a famous actress.
Was she ever a Bond girl?
I don't believe so.
Oh, Big Al says yes in capital letters. So
No, okay. Yes, she had a more sizable role in the James Bond satire Casino Royale as Miss Good Thighs.
Miss what?
Miss Good
Good Thighs.
Thighs, yes, if I'm reading that right. Yes, okay. Um, Look, I'm not a big fan of the original Casino Royale. I rank it as it might be my most hated movie of all time.
Wow.
Let me see who did
Now
this.
the body of the young girl here is kind of graphic looking.
Burt Bacharach did the score to the original Casino Royale.
He did.
Bacharach fan. We can always do a rewatch of it someday if you want to hear me ranting through most of the review. Okay. Casino Royale rewatch. Everyone will tune in thinking it's Daniel Craig Bond movie.
Probably so. And then
Instead,
we could do that one afterwards.
instead it's horrible Peter Sellers and David Niven, and just terrible. She like, I can't be with you because you're in this line of work.
Well, I mean, if you stumbled across someone who'd been murdered, I mean, you'd be kind of upset too.
Whatever.
I'm assuming that. I mean, I don't know.
I was watching one Friday 13th movie where there was the murder cadaver rolling in the corner was eating a sloppy tuna sandwich while looking at it. What do you think of that?
Okay. No.
No, like he didn't care. This movie needs more score.
Like right here, like
there's nothing. It's like I'm hearing automobiles flying by. You know,
see, like they could have had a theme, and that could be playing right now.
like the love theme, right?
Yeah, like the love theme. Hmm?
She's saying you're living in a sewer, Frank, day after day, and I'm thinking it's not even the 70s yet. You know,
It's definitely not 2022.
It's kind of weird though. If you look at the Bullitt character in this, it almost strikes me as almost like maybe this is how Harry Callahan was before his wife died, right? Like, you know, his wife probably gave him a hard time with the job too, right? And then she died in a car accident, and then all he had was the job.
This is a good scene. I like the scene. I would like it more if it had some music to it.
All right. Did you like that answer? Time starts now.
Yeah. You know, they do like investigating in this film though. I'll give them that. Rome, that's in Italy, right?
Yes. I think you can get spaghetti there, right?
Maybe some pizza?
Maybe. New purse still got a price tag in it. Uh-huh. Is that the good stuff? What is in here? Oh, yeah, so we could have done a cop movie month. We could have done French Connection. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Would the Conversation, would you consider that a cop movie?
I have to still watch The Conversation. I know. I keep hearing everybody saying you're shaking your head now, right? Have you seen The Conversation?
It's been a while.
Okay. Somehow I missed that one.
So, like, if your local theater had this, like, in the theater for, like, a night, would you go see it in the theater?
I don't know. Maybe I would. What do you think of the pacing?
It's kind of slow at
It is
times.
kind of slow. It is kind. I don't feel Dirty Harry is as slow as this movie. Dirty Harry kind of moves at a clip.
Yeah.
This lulls. Now it's not Michael Bay with explosions every 5 minutes, right? But
Hey, H&S Collectibles, how are you tonight? Did you get the soundtrack or did you get the movie? Or did you get both?
I feel you could probably shake a half hour out of this movie. That's sort of how I feel.
I don't know about maybe. I'm thinking maybe 15 minutes, and you just put like a full score to the movie.
Maybe it's the fact there's no score. Maybe that's what's making the movie slow to you, huh? You think that might be what it is, huh?
Yeah.
The fact that when Robert Vaughn shows up here, there should maybe a sinister cue.
Yeah.
Letting us know he's the bad guy.
Or like you could start it out. He could have his own theme, but the tone of it isn't so dark and dire. But the more it progresses, the tone starts to change.
You get warped.
I would like that. That would be nice. Oh, you got the record at a used records shop. Excellent. That's cool. Seeing Dirty Harry would be like, yeah, well, I demand a pepperoni pizza, bitch.
Yeah. Dirty Harry.
Rich's Record Emporium. They have a website? We've got like three record stores in town, but soundtracks sections like a bunch of Dr. Zhivago and then like a couple random things. It's kind of like, eh.
Is Dr. Zhivago, is that like the Sonic Spinball of movie soundtracks?
It's at every thrift store I've ever been in.
Yeah. I guess that's the
They
joke.
must have sold a whole bunch of those.
This one game collector online I watch, he always complains. He says, every one of these garage sales, there's a pile of Genesis games. There's always a Sonic Spinball. So I guess that's like Dr. Zhivago is the bad penny soundtrack.
Pretty high-tech technology right here, Boomer.
You know what? Don't knock it, smart guy. Back then, this was a big deal.
I'm not knocking it. I'm saying for 1968, this is like...
Yeah. Let me tell you something. A couple years later, Diamonds Are Forever. Blofeld has a super satellite that can shoot lasers out of it and blow up like nuclear submarines. Okay.
Yeah. That's freaking lasers.
Lasers. Yes. Freaking lasers on the. That's why he needed all those diamonds.
Yeah. Patton's pretty common too. Yeah.
You like the score to Patton?
Yeah. Well, don't you feel stupid, Mr. Senator? H&S, why is Diamonds Are Forever your favorite Bond score?
It's a good one. It might be mine too. I'm not sure. It's up there.
I would say it'd be a toss up between Living Daylights and View to a Kill for Barry, and then for Arnold it would be a toss up between Casino Royale and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Mm.
Okay, it's melon parts and it's your favorite Bond film. Okay, that's cool.
Favorite Bond film. Okay, yeah, that's cool. We'll probably do a rewatch of Diamonds Are Forever someday on this channel, so keep an eye out. Yeah, that was originally a Christmas release, Diamonds Are Forever. When did this movie come out, I wonder?
October 17th.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah, H&S, if you'd like to join us for Diamonds Are Forever rewatch, let me know. I'd be happy to have you on the show.
That'd be interesting, yes.
Remember when you could just like walk on an airplane?
Yeah. Those were
It would
the
be way
days.
cool, H&S collectibles. It would be way cool.
Nowadays, the priest would be thrown against the wall and saying, "What do you have on you?" You know.
Yeah. Put a gun in the back of his head, and
I know. It's just ridiculous. But that's an interesting beard that guy has. Cowboy, look at the cowboy, huh? There should be a clown boarding the plane. If this was an airplane movie, there'd be a clown coming through next, right? Am I wrong?
probably so. And there might even be some music.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you know, there's a nun. Look at that. Got a sailor. So you got all people from all walks of life. They're all, you know, they're all coming and going. It needs more score.
It does.
It's too this. I'm more lenient on that sort of thing than you are, but I think in this movie, yeah, it did need more score. It's.
And I always wonder if it's something like, did the director not want more? Did the producers not want it? Did they just not think they needed it? You know, it's because I know John Williams was giving an interview one time, and he was talking about like Steven Spielberg, wants it for like the entire movie. Martin Rich just wants it for certain parts, and he's always just got to do what the director wants. But he said he always found it interesting how different directors just want different amounts of score.
Some of the best aircraft sounds ever, though, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking if they were to release the full score now, it would just be sound effects of cars and airplanes and things, right? It's
Those car engines did sound pretty sweet, my friend.
I didn't say they didn't. And let's be honest, sound design is very important in a movie too. You'll notice when you some movies where you get the sound only tracks, you get the score, but sometimes you also get the sound effects with them too. And it's kind of
isolated sound effects.
Yeah, so it's a neat special feature. fact, if you ever get yourself I think even on the digital copy of Alien, you can use the special features like watch the movie with just the score, which is kind of neat, you know.
That senator dude is just kind of like all over the place, like
Yeah,
always showing up.
yeah, it is. What organization's he talking about? I wonder.
Now there's some Dirty Harry for you.
Yeah, but Dirty Harry would have been dunking this guy's head in the toilet at some point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that too.
I mean, actually, I'll say that when we get around to doing LA Confidential, there's a great scene where the character Bud White, that's played by Russell Crowe, he's trying to drown some guy's head in the toilet. You know, he's really angry. You know. LA Confidential, that's a Jerry Goldsmith score.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that I don't own for whatever reasons.
It did get a release. I remember the soundtrack and the score got separate releases. I know I have the soundtrack. I think I have the score, but I'm not positive.
Have a good night, H&S Collectibles. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, you're gonna miss the best part. Ha ha. You know,
I think he's seen it a couple times, Boomer.
The bloody shootout. No offense, but it seems like this plane landing part is happening in real time. Speed it up, please. See, I think this scene would have been cut in half. The whole airport plane thing, right? I don't know. Not picking on the movie. I'm not. Were you surprised this didn't get a sequel?
Yeah, I mean, it made over 10 times its budget back.
Maybe Steve McQueen didn't want to come back for it?
You know, there was a time you just make a good movie and then you made a movie. You know, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, it used to be that things didn't get sequels.
True. I mean, Dirty Harry comes out. I don't. You can tell when you're watching Dirty Harry, they weren't really necessarily planning on a sequel, especially with that ending. You know, but you could have very easily just done more movies with Bullitt. I mean, you know, nothing really happens that's so final in this movie that you just couldn't have kept doing sequels.
I really do think you could rescore this film with existing James Horner music.
Like the Titanic theme right here.
No.
I think so. They could have remade this with a young Keanu Reeves. What do you think, huh? Shoot remember Speed, huh?
Like, I mean, this is like John Wick. I mean, the guy would already be dead. I mean,
that's true. Did you ever see Speed?
No.
Didn't?
No.
How did you miss Speed? It was like the only movie. It was like the only movie playing that summer. Memory serves. It was Die Hard on a bus.
It was.
You kidding me? Then they had the sequel, which didn't have Keanu in it, so I didn't bother.
Had Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, this is dumb. It didn't. William Dafoe was the bad guy, I think, in the sequel.
Did you ever see Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro?
That I have not seen. I need to see it. Is it good?
Try not to spoil it for you, but there's a scene. It's a lot like this right here.
Don't spoil it for me. I should probably watch Heat. Let me know if you want to do a rewatch of that sometime. We can do.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do Heat.
It's got one of the best shootouts of ever.
Okay, I don't know why I missed it. I think I was too young to go to the theaters on my own, and then I didn't know people around me didn't like it, or I don't know. I just didn't hear much about it, so then I kind of skipped it. But I should probably watch it now. See, I'm thinking this could have started now, like a half hour ago. I don't know. I'm not picking on the movie or anything. That's creepy.
Could you carry firearms on the planes in the 1960s?
I don't think it was allowed, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't know what the security was like back then in airports.
I know you can check them in your luggage, but to actually have it in the cabin with you.
It's possible too. Maybe the organization bribed someone to look the other way on that sort of thing. I don't know. Like don't flag this guy down for anything. You never know. Could have been other things happening too, which is how he got away with it. I guess flying was a big deal back then, though, right? You get like
I remember when you got food on flights.
You get food. Get
like an actual meal, like a meal on a plate, and yeah.
Back then, it was stewardesses and not flight attendants. Remember that?
That's right. And he actually did that lying down between an actual airplane running over him.
That's scary.
Well, they didn't have no CGI.
Well, okay, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Did you ever see the episode of The Simpsons where Marge was recalling a traumatic childhood experience, and Dad was going off to work on the plane, and she snuck on board the plane to say goodbye, and he was the flight attendant, and she says, "Dad," and he went, "Don't look at me, don't look at me," because back then it wasn't as common to have male flight attendants. Anyway.
Did you like The Terminal with Tom Hanks?
I never saw it. Who directed it?
Spielberg.
Oh, okay. I should have watched that. I saw Catch Me If You Can. How did I miss The Terminal? Okay, well, we'll have to watch The Terminal sometime. I missed The Terminal. Was Julia Roberts in that as well?
No, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay, I think I was okay. So the idea is, while the guy is on the plane or something, his country gets taken over, so he's sort of a man without a country, so he lives in the terminal. remember seeing the trailer. It looked interesting, but I never got around to watching it.
I really love the score by John Williams for The Terminal.
We got some music here.
We do.
It was worth it just for this, right? All those moments of silence. He's sweating a bit, isn't he?
Wouldn't you be? Of course, nowadays I think they would just lock the entire airport down.
Probably.
Yeah. I guess he won't be testifying tomorrow morning.
Okay. See, if this is one of these Italian crime movies I like so much, it would be about a corrupt police officer trying to stop the good witness. And then stopping him, and then he'd get killed too. And you'd have a sour taste in your mouth after the end of the movie.
I wonder what he did.
Yeah. Wonder what he did. This was Texas, they wouldn't even care.
No.
I'm just saying.
Oh, God bless Texas.
I'm wanting to punch Robert Vaughn's face in this movie, and I don't get a punch. This was probably audiences, young men that would eventually become action movie directors, saw the Robert Vaughn character and said that character needs to get punched, which is why we see characters like that getting punched in later movies. Okay. You know?
I even have to dry clean that jacket.
It would be funny if he's walking down the street and Harry Callahan walks back and says, "Hi, Harry." You know, wouldn't that be funny, huh? Right?
Like you got neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, like neighbors or something. Yeah, just. What'd you have to deal with this week? I know this crazed guy named Scorpio who kidnapped the school bus of children. You know, it's just like. Now the woman's still there, huh? Time starts now. Just quit and start the onion farm like you always wanted. Right?
What?
We got music.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly.
You're expecting just blank credits rolling, right? No sound. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to be here for another 20 minutes listening to watching the credits. And oh, wait, never mind.
Nope, they're over. That's it. I think it's a good film. I wish the editing was a little bit tighter. I wish it had more score.
Yeah.
I wish they had done more between the relationship between him and her.
I liked it. I think it could have been tightened a bit. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. Maybe it is that lack of music that is making it seem like it's dragging out. Maybe if there had been more score, it wouldn't have felt as dragged out. I don't think it's a bad film, and of course, I know plenty of people say it's a classic, and I love Steve McQueen in this part. So I'm not. It's a good movie. I just, a little shorter, but I think it grinds to a halt at that airport, and I'm telling you, it's. I guess it's to build suspense. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure I'll have people yelling at me if they ever watch this commentary, but I'll say this: what's cool about the DVD when you click on the little things like going to scenes, it does the separation thing, like in the movie where the credits fly apart. It does it on the DVD as well. That's kind of neat. All right, so next week, is there not going to be a rewatch because of your concert thing?
No, concert's Monday night. There's no Batman show next week because I'll be in Pittsburgh on Monday.
If you're tuckered out, let me know, okay? Because
I'll be fine by Wednesday.
All right.
All right.
What movie do you want to do?
Let me get with Eric to see if he wants to do Commando.
Commando.
What was the Arnold movie that you wanted to do?
I had mentioned Predator. I had mentioned Red Heat. None of these are set in stone. You don't have to do those.
Yeah.
I think Predator maybe, though, because you want to do a Silvestri score, right? That might be a good one. Okay. Red Heat, and what was the other one? I named, you told me name 4, and I just rambled off some. We don't have to do them, but
Red Heat, James Horner.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else.
Commandos, James Horner.
There was a 4th one.
Last Action Hero, Michael Kamen.
Yeah, did I say The Sixth Day? I don't think I did. That one's hit or miss. Because I wasn't trying to do the typical Arnold. I wasn't trying to go for Terminator, even though that's a typical one to pick. I don't think I picked Running Man either. I don't remember what the 4th one was. Oh well. Anyway, we'll think of something. All right. Cool.
Who did the 6th Day sound? Who did the score?
For the 6th Day, let me see.
Well, apparently it's not on eBay because all I'm getting is the 6 cents.
6th Day, music by Trevor Rabin.
Is there not a soundtrack release of the 6th Day?
There may not be, so maybe we'll skip that one. Let me look at Arnold movies. Let me see what was the other one I picked. I think I picked. Oh, what did I pick? Raw Deal.
Wow. Who did Raw Deal?
Why?
Because I don't know.
I think it was Raw Deal. I think I mentioned Raw Deal as a possibility. Raw Deal. Who did the score to that? That was Chris Boardman. Does that ring a bell to you? We can only do the 3 if you'd like. I think we're running up blank here. Unless you want to do Last Action.
I've never seen Raw Deal. Is it like the greatest movie ever?
It's good enough. It's. I'll put it to this way: Raw Deal. There's a line in it where his wife was drinking and she hates him because he got moved out. He got a cop job out in the sticks, and she throws a cake at him, and he says, "Don't drink and bake." Come on, okay. You like that, huh? I don't know about Raw Deal. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if you does that composer sound familiar to you at all? Chris Boardman. Okay, then maybe we can always skip. We can always just do 3. Okay, we don't have to do a 4th unless you want to do Last Action Hero. Or one of the Terminators. I'm game if you want to do Terminator 3. I know you mentioned that one. Okay, so
I know Chris P wanted to get in on Last Action Hero.
Okay, so we can always do Last Action Heroes the 4th. Yes, some would be Raw Deal. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, all right. So, get back with me on Commando. Stay tuned on Birdman's channel. We'll probably do an Arnold movie no matter what, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. All right. Y'all have a okay. Well, actually, no, it's your stream. You do.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Adopt, don't shop. Keep listening to great film scores, and we'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.